that Bitcoin could become the global settlement layer for all assets in the world. It's actually, I'm coming around to the idea that it's actually possible that not just it's a better form of money. It is, right? Digital gold. It is a better form of money.
Hey guys, welcome back to Everyday Finance. In this video mark, Yusko discuss about crypto, money, Bitcoin, and BlackRock ETF approval. According to Mark Yusko, Bitcoin may end up serving as the world's primary means of asset settlement globally, and Mark Yusko starting to believe that it's actually feasible that digital currency isn't merely a superior option gold. You know my on-chain monkeys? It's a better way to make money, however. Individuals have established numerous initiatives on the Bitcoin blockchain, such as valuable resources you're aware of if it is the original, Origin's monkeys, or if it's this 3 dimensions that they made. Or are those Bugatti eggs really worth $200,000 as collectibles that you are aware of and are immediately settling for Bitcoin? And as if you consider this entire decision, if you own an asset, even if it's just the house title with a stock certificate, or if you are aware of money, you probably feel good you wish to preserve it, and lots of things Mark Yusko discuss. So please watch the video to end, and like, share, subscribe our channel Everyday Finance. Thanks.
The thing about this technology is it's unique, right? We've never had this before. We've never had a technology that you can own directly, right? You can't own electricity. You can't own TCP/IP. You can't own, all kinds of technological innovation over the years. And you can own companies that do things with it. You can own apps that sit on top and use TCP/IP. But now you can actually own the blockchains themselves. And that's pretty interesting. Now you could say, well, they're like companies, but without humans and without boards and without, so fine, you could say that. I mean, as opposed to just a pure technology, but really it's a technology. And look, I am struggling a lot with, I'll make the maxis happy for a second, with this idea that Bitcoin could become the global settlement layer for all assets in the world. It's actually, I'm coming around to the idea that it's actually possible that not just it's a better form of money. It is, right? Digital gold. It is a better form of money, but it actually, my on-chain monkeys guys have settled multiple projects onto the Bitcoin blockchain, like valuable assets, whether it's the original, Genesis monkeys, or whether it's this Dimensions 3-dimensional mint they did, or whether it's the Bugatti eggs, right? These are $200,000 collectibles that, are settling straight to Bitcoin. And if you think about this whole decision, if you have an asset, whatever that asset is, title to a house or a stock certificate or, money, you probably feel pretty, you want to hold on to it, right? You want it someplace safe. And what did that mean in the old days? Bank vaults, right? Big buildings with columns and thick walls and multiple locks. And you put it in there and you had a key to your safe deposit box and it was safe until the bad guys came in and cracked the safe and stole all the stuff. So then we figure out this DTCC thing and this digital thing, or this electronic thing. And so we have electronic, but stuff still gets stolen. Well, now we have digital, which is an enhancement over electronic, which is an enhancement over analog. And there's these different mechanisms for asserting proof of work, proof of stake, proof of history, proof of whatever. Proof of work, kind of, at least to me, is superior from a safety and security perspective, at least for me. right? Just based on the power of the network and the amount of compute. And that's the other thing is, the longer you're around this, the more you realize it isn't about speculating on tokens. I mean, that's fine. And it's fun maybe. But it's about understanding the technology, the base technology, and how it's being integrated in this giant S curve, right? We're 10% in to, adoption, which means, got somewhere between 10 and 20% adoption, depending on what project you're looking at. We got the whole upside of the S curve to go. And it's that technological evolution and adoption cycle that's really unbelievable. That's why I'm out here in California at 5 a.m, talking on the tube.
According to Mark Yusko, whole magnitude more substantial in the derivatives market ready for cries. Look, it's another excellent analysis, which is why we still own you as early investors. You're aware that we sold the majority of we were confined for a short while, so we weren't at our best somewhat, but we did fairly well. But we only kept roughly a third, and it's been difficult to watch it fall when we, think so highly of the company, but for every one of the reasons you just mentioned, we are holding, and trust me, we'll experience those highs. You just can't imagine, however, in the comparatively near future. And that doesn't even include anything because you already know what is about to happen. It will be approved when the BlackRock ETF gets approved, and I can assure you that it will be approved. Mark Yusko, not sure when it will happen exactly, but he assuming you already know early January would allow me to complete it on January 6th, the Feast of the Epiphany. Who knows? But that's when that's going to happen. Expected to be significant for Coinbase and Coinbase. You make a valid point that this is the institutional norm for a digital asset that will eventually be element of every portfolio in the same manner that institutional PFOS stocks were absent at one point. Was made up entirely of bonds, and there was a period when hedge funds and venture capital buyouts eventually, these assets will be owned by everyone.
It's why we still own, the piece that, we were early investors. We sold most of what we had, not at the peak, because we were locked up for a little bit, but we, did quite nicely, but we kept about a third, and it's been painful watching it go down, when we, think very highly of the business, but for all the reasons you just described, we are holding, and believe, we'll see those highs, not tomorrow, but in the relatively near term. And that doesn't even include anything for, what is coming, right? When the BlackRock ETF is approved, and it's going to be approved, right? I'm telling you, it's going to be approved. And I can't give you the exact date, but my guess is, early January. Maybe they'll do it on the Feast of the Epiphany on January 6th. Who knows? But that's coming, and that's going to be big for Coinbase. And Coinbase, to your point, it is the institutional gold standard for an asset digital assets that are going to be part of every portfolio, right? The same way that there was a time when there were no stocks in institutional portfolios. It was all bonds. And then there was a time there were no hedge funds and venture capital and buyouts. There will be a time when everyone will have these assets, and it's coming, and that's amazing. And congrats to Brian and the rest of the team, for sticking with it and not backing down to, the shakedowns from the 3-letter agency that I won't name. By the way, it's Sam Brannan. So the good Sam B. And I love the fact that we didn't talk about that other jerk, who did, get found guilty on 7 counts.